This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 848 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip, with the assistance of Becky Bass from Centaur Forge, is all about clips and grabs and caulks. Oh my! And we'll get right to our tip after this important message from EquiSketch Apps.
Glenn the Geek here. The life of horse person is hard enough, and we all hate doing the required paperwork, and unfortunately many of us never get around to it, and it just piles up on our desk. That is about to change thanks to the EquiSketch Records app for your iPhone or iPad. My wife and I use it to track our horses, and we absolutely love this thing. EquiSketch Records is the most thorough and complete equestrian records app on the market today. We love this app because you can track your farrier work, your dental, your coggins, medicines, worming, and so much more. And you can get reminders on your device when all of these things are due. You'll never forget a worming or shots or farrier visit again. But it not only tracks your horse, you can also manage your horse shows, including individual events. You can manage riders, including lessons and memberships, and so much more. And you can sync it between your iPhone and your iPad, and all of this for the price of a couple of cups of coffee from Starbucks. Search for EquiSketch Records in the iOS App Store or go to equisketch.com. That's EquiSketch.com. EquiSketch.com.
Here with Becky Bass of Centaur Forge, who has been supplying farrier and blacksmithing supplies since 1960. Not Becky personally, but the company. And today's chat is going to involve some of the more common add-on features available in horse shows. Okay, Becky? Help me out a little bit with what all those little gadgets are and what's their function.
Okay, well, the studs are mainly if you're looking for more traction, and you would need those in certain competitions, and they do have rules and regulations in every competition as to what kind of stud you can have, how tall it can be, and things like that.
So a stud is also what some people call caulks. Is that right? Am I using the right word?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
And you can have a screw-in stud or a drive-in stud, or you could just have a tungsten carbide pin.
Ooh, that sounds wicked.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Actually, it's actually the simplest one.
Really?
The carbide pin, yeah, it would be just something that you could drill a hole towards the heel of the horseshoe, and then you would just pound that in, and it just gives that little extra traction. And you don't have to do like the tapping and the threading and all of these other things. And they do not stick up too far above your shoes, so you're not tearing up the road and the dirt and the grass and everything. They're about the simplest, and they are a really good way to get a little extra traction without going through a whole lot of work.
And what are they called again?
They're tungsten carbide pins.
Pins. That's interesting. I don't know that I've ever taken note of a farrier using them. I'm going to have to quiz the farrier next time I see him and look at a horseshoe with those in there. So that's sort of snow tires at the most basic level for your horse.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
And when you want to get more intricate, then they add on borium or carbide or drill tech, all these other things that they actually have to heat up the shoe and weld it to. Those are the more expensive add-ons.
So which is the most, as far as traction-adding devices? I guess there are toe grabs. And toe grabs, you only see those on aluminum shoes, or are toe grabs something that you would see on a steel shoe as well?
Mostly aluminum shoes will have what they call a toe grab. There are shoes that have toe and heel caulks, and those are built into the steel shoes. But they look different than the toe grab that you would see on an aluminum shoe.
So for folks out there who do not have racehorses whose hooves they look at on a regular basis, because that's where you see them most, what does a toe grab look like?
It looks, it goes right at the toe of the foot, and it probably is about an inch to an inch and a half long, and it just looks like a bump on the toe of the horseshoe. Like when they formed the horseshoe, it just has this extra bump coming down so that it has a little bit more traction.
Uh-huh. So, and you can only see that when you look at the horseshoe after you've picked the horse's foot up. It's not something that sticks out outside anywhere, right?
No, it'll sink down into the dirt and things. It's not something that you're going to see on the outside of the hoof wall or anything.
Okay. Got it. So we've got toe grabs for traction. Now, if you were to have a toe grab on a steel shoe, it would be an integral part of the shoe as well, and that it wouldn't be removable. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. And then if you have heel grabs, what does a heel grab look like? If I was to pick up a horse's foot that was wearing a horseshoe with a heel grab on it, what would I see?
The rest of the shoe is going to be flat, but at each heel there is going to be a raised part again. It's almost like the toe grab, but it's at the heel. It's just the shoe at the heel is going to be maybe a quarter of an inch or less thicker than the rest of the flat shoe.
Aha, and I think way back in the day that they used to call those caulks in Europe. Caulks maybe? Okay, now I'm getting the hang of it now, so you can have those. Got it. And that's something that I have seen on draft horses that are being used in the woods to bring in lumber and the like?
Yes.
Got it. You're not going to see them on your average show horse.
No, not unless you're going into some really rough terrain that you want to make sure that you got a little bit of extra traction.
Got it. So here's a tricky one. And I there's a lot of folks that get confused. Fullering or a fullered shoe. Would you be able to explain to me what a fuller is in a horseshoe? And don't tell me that that's when the box is full, because that's not going to cut it.
It's when the shoe is full. That's what it is.
There we go. Smarty.
No, actually, fullering is just that groove where the nail holes go.
Oh.
That would be, so when back in the day, of course, and there's probably a lot of farriers out there who still make their own shoes. When they fuller them, that's where they put that groove in where the nail holes sit.
Oh, so is that there to allow the nail head to sit flush with the horseshoe? Is that what it's for?
Yes, and then you also have like rim shoes, which also are another way to get more traction for the horse. The rim would be where it goes all the way around and it actually kind of comes up to a point.
Oh, yes. We used to put those on our event horses. We used a lot of rim shoes, and back in the day we called them fullered shoes, but rim shoe makes sense in that groove or that fullering is on the entire diameter of the shoe from heel all the way around to the other heel, right?
Yep, that is correct.
And then the leading edge of that groove, the edge of the groove closer to the front of the horse, sticks out a little bit taller than the trailing edge of the groove. Am I right?
Correct.
I got it. Gold star for me.
Very much so.
Now our last little add-on that you frequently see in horseshoes are clips. So help us out with what clips are and why they're on a horseshoe.
Well, clips would be for the horseshoe to help line it up, make sure everything's in its proper place. And there are quarter clips, and then there are toe clips.
Mm-hmm.
The toe clips, most people, if you use the toe clip, the nice thing with that is that it's at the toe. You line up your shoe, make sure it's properly balanced and everything. And when the foot is growing, it has a room to expand out on both sides.
Oh.
So with the toe clip, it's kind of nice because you don't have to worry about, the toe getting or the foot getting too compressed.
So a toe clip, generally speaking, that's on a shoe on a front foot. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also have them on hind feet for like draft horses. Very rarely do you see them on a regular, hind foot on a regular, like warm blood or anything like that.
Yeah, unless you're extra large Army surplus size, you're not going to have a toe clip on your hind foot.
Correct.
Got it. I can deal with that. Now, quarter clips, help me out with that. Quarter clips sounds more involved.
No, it's not really that much more involved. It's just that they're going on the quarters of the horse's foot. So there's going to be two clips, one on the left, one on the right, and the toe is exposed. Put the clips on there to help keep the horseshoe on more securely. It helps the farrier line up the shoes more correctly. There's actually more purposes towards the clips than beyond what I could even go into now.
You seem to see a lot of horses with clips on their horseshoes. So obviously they're really helpful for lots of different things, or there are a lot of horses with the same problem, one of the two.
Most of the time it's just the farriers prefer to do it that way. And there are farriers out there who prefer never to have clips on the horse's foot just because they believe that the horse's foot grows out better.
Oh, interesting. So like most things in the horse world, there is a division of opinions.
That is correct.
Cool. So are there other little add-ons that I don't even know about that you can tell us about? Top secret add-ons?
If you're going into traction and on the bottom of the horse's foot, there's a ton. But for just tractions, you've got the boring and the car braids, everything and the studs and all of those things. That's pretty much all I can think of, unless you're going towards the horse's foot, covering the frog, for covering the pads, and anything like that. So.
Well, now, that's a whole book right there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
In fact, I've read several of our books that we have, and there are so many controversies, just like with the clips. Some people believe in them, some people don't, and you can read 10 different books and get 10 different opinions.
Well, that's the way it works in the horse world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's nice that most of the farriers can agree to disagree.
Phew, thank goodness, or we'd be having some kind of a civil war, wouldn't we?
That's right.
War between the farriers. Well, thank you once again, Becky, for stopping by and spending a little time with us and helping us understand all those little add-ons that our horseshoes can have. Tell folks how they can get a hold of Centaur Forge and where they can find them online.
You can visit us on our website at centaurforge.com, and that's CENTAURFORGE.com, or you can give us a call at 1-800-666-9175.
Awesome. See you next time, Becky.
All right. Thank you, Jan. Have a great day.
Well, there you go. To listen to more tips on everything from barn care to websites for horse people, just go to horsetipdaily.com and look for the topics drop-down menu on the left. And don't forget to support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. This podcast has been brought to you through the generous support of the folks at Equisketch.com. And thanks to Equisketch.com, you can now download the free Horse Radio Network app for iPhone and Android. Just go to your app store and search for Horse Radio Network. Download the app, and you can carry the Horse Radio Network shows wherever you go. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.